5:32, I call this meeting of the Hope Public School Board to order. We have the first item on our agenda is our reports. We have in front of you the minutes from the September 19th board meeting. We will entertain a motion regarding those minutes at this time.
Madam President, I move we accept the minutes as printed.
And we have a motion by Mr. Hamilton and second by Ms. Dickinson. All of those in favor, let it be known by show of hands. Motion carries unanimously. Next item we have is our expenditures. You have been given the expenditures to look through. We will entertain a motion regarding those at this time.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the expenditures for October.
We have a motion by Ms. Moss, and second by Ms. Johnson. All of those in favor, let it be known by show of hands. Motion carries unanimously. Next item on our agenda is our superintendent's report. Dr. Crossan.
All right, we'll be brief here, but I need about a moment, 1 minute, 60 seconds to transition down to the floor. I'll call names out and go from there. Our communications director, David Anderson, is here. I'm going to snap a picture, and we'll have a small medallion just as a token of our appreciation for what you've added to our school district over the course of this last month. We'll be right with you. All right, we'll go to Clinton Primary first. The first person to recognize for a superintendent's award is Ms. Connie Ortiz. Ms. Ortiz greets guests upon arrival every day. She does an excellent job of translating to address the needs of all students when it arises. Ms. Connie Ortiz. Ms. Ortiz brightens my day more than you know. I have you Clinton. She does a great job. All right, next we have Tina Burke. Is Ms. Burke here? Tina Burke, volunteering to work the office when the secretaries were in training. Got those secretaries in training. Ms. Burke comes weekly to read to students. Ms. Tina Burke.
And I want to say one thing.
Sure.
All those secretaries, unless you have worked in office, you cannot imagine all of that.
I agree. Okay.
And as far as the students, I love it.
All right, clap it up, clap it up. 900, actually closer to 1,000 kids, including pre-K right now over there in Clinton Primary. That's a huge task. Next, we have Archie Butler. Archie Butler. Mr. Butler is eager to ensure the best for his granddaughter. What's your granddaughter's name?
Indiana Rose.
I love it. She comes in with a smile and a cheerful word. Mr. Archie Butler. All right, next we have Chantel Jarvis and Paige Bobo.
Yeah, that's my name.
There we go. Get the names right. Willingness to drop everything in order to help a student in need. These two ladies take care of testing, honor roll assemblies, spirit week, and so much more. Chantel Jarvis.
Get there.
All right.
I'm glad it's not my volunteer.
Yes,
Thank you.
Kenya Love. This Love is all in. She assists wherever she is needed. Her continuous, there it is, smile is infectious. She is a joy to work with. Ms. Kenya Love. All right, next we have Amora Wingfield. Amora is a model student who follows the school and class rules. She does all her classwork promptly and never complains. She is always willing to help her teacher and classmates. She has a sweet nature, and it shows with the way she kindly treats her peers. Miss Amora Wingfield. Is she here today? Cindy Ledesma and Elizabeth Batista, finalists for the statewide Arkansas Peace Week art contest. Miss Cindy Ledesma and Elizabeth Batista. I clap it up for me. Michael and Elena Ogden, providing parent feedback in ways to improve communication between classroom and home. Michael and Elena Ogden. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. All right. Hand is here. Not getting control. Thank you. All right, clap it up for them as I'm walking. That's Tony Hooker. Tony, I saw him come in. Here it is, Tony Hooker. Supporting math students campus-wide, supporting students in extracurricular events. Mr. Tony Hooker. Next, we have Myra Garcia. Myra Garcia, filling in when ESS cannot provide us with a substitute, which we've had a problem with. Substitutes are hard to come by sometimes. Translator, anytime it comes or anytime the need arises. Myra Garcia. Amanda McBride and Hope Haven. Amanda McBride and Hope Haven. Providing opportunities for our students to engage with and support elderly members of our community. Amanda McBride and Hope Haven. Jakari Gully. Jakari Gully. Jakari is an outstanding student leader on the Yerger campus. He sets the standard for high character among our students. Jakari has become a role model for many aspiring students at Yerger Middle School. Mr. Jakari Gully. All right, next we have Deidre Caesar Simonton. Miss Simonton, are you around? Oh, I saw Miss Simonton. Miss Simonton serves as our lead teacher in the new Star Academy, which we talked about earlier. She has been unbelievable in her efforts to make the program a success. Thank you, Miss Simonton, for all that you do. Deidre Caesar Simonton. Jessica Garcia. Miss Garcia has stepped in as the new principal secretary at Yerger this year. She has hit the ground running and has done an excellent job. She works tirelessly to make sure everything is running smoothly. She has the unenviable task of keeping me on schedule. Thank you, Miss Garcia. Jessica. But I don't see him here tonight. There's a lot going on tonight, by the way. Anyway. Steve Lance. Mr. Lance is tireless in his efforts to support middle school, junior varsity, and varsity athletics. His enthusiasm in our games make for an energetic stadium. Thank you, Mr. Lance, for all that you do. All right. Naira Ramirez Toledo. She is the nicest, quietest, and most respectful student that we know. She is a smart young lady that is always willing to complete any task that is asked of her without complaining. She is just an all-around awesome student. Naira Ramirez Toledo. Miss Inel Thornton. Miss Thornton. She works well with her students and is always there to help them. She is always willing to step up and help out with everything we ask her to do. She has stepped up this year in taking over our leadership team as well. Miss Inel Thornton. Corliss Stuckey. Yeah, Corliss Stuckey. Mr. Stuckey is all in at BHE. I mean, look at the shirt. He's all in at BHE. He's always willing to step in and do whatever is asked of him. He always makes work fun, Mr. Corliss Stuckey. Celia Montgomery. She calls and checks on us all the time. She wants to make sure we always have plenty of incentives for our students and for our staff. Ms. Celia Montgomery. All right. Miss Amora Wingfield. There we go, Miss Wingfield. Amora, I'm going to say it again. Amora is a model student who follows the school and class rules. She does all of her classwork promptly and never complains. She is always willing to help her teacher and her classmates. She has a sweet nature, and it shows with the way she treats her peers with kindness. Miss Amora Wingfield. Few more. All right, our CATS candidates. Tatiana Flemings. Tatiana Flemings. Tatiana Flemings has been nominated as an outstanding student. Tatiana started with the HOPE program in September with the mission to graduate in 2023. She has well surpassed her goals for this fall and is on to meeting her spring goals. Tatiana is a very hardworking student who will do great things. Ms. Flemings. Have it up for Ms. Flemings. Sheila Muldrew. Ms. Muldrew is supportive of her daughter and always comes when she is called. In the best interest of her daughter, she always asks for suggestions to do anything that's needed for her daughter. She meets the criteria of an excellent parent. Ms. Muldrew. All right, Loretta Dahlhover. Loretta Dahlhover. She is always the teacher that is jolly and on the spot when it comes to making contacts with parents immediately when there's a need. She dives into all projects given to her with an energetic spirit with project-based learning. A very dedicated teacher for the ALE program serving 5th through 8th grade students. Ms. Loretta Dahlhover. Diane Sharp. Ms. Sharp. She keeps on building clean and community with the staff and students. A smile is seen daily when she does her job. Whatever needs to be done, she is spreading the love on our campus. Ms. Diane Sharp. Edric Lard. Is Edric here? I saw him. Mr. Lard. Nurse Edric Lard is seen moving very swiftly to the campus each morning to serve students. He takes time daily to give an encouraging word to other students. There you go. I thought I saw you back there. That he knows encouraging them to do their best and make positive choices. We salute you for all that you do. Okay. Kiara Haney. She comes to school each morning with a smile on her face. She loves to learn and always listens to her teacher. She's a joy to everyone around her, and her personality is contagious. Kiara Haney. Adriana Gonzalez. Eric and Adriana Gonzalez, they work hard to ensure that their child is ready for learning. They show genuine concern for her learning and are always willing to help out when needed. Eric and Adriana Gonzalez. She is at work before the sun comes up each morning. She is dependable and can always be counted on to pitch in when needed. Her students learn more than is expected and are always ready for the next phase of their learning adventure. Ms. Sarah Young. Grace is our newest addition here to pre-K. She may be new, but it feels like she's been here forever because she's such a huge part of our preschool. She works hard, loves each and every child in our program, and always has great ideas to add to our pre-K, Miss Grace Franks. Oaklawn Catering, right down the road. Oaklawn Catering. Anthony is always ready and willing to help out on our campus. He donates anytime he is needed. He is a positive role model for both students and community members. I want to add him because he is an amazing single dad. Oaklawn Catering and Anthony. Is he here? Anthony with Oaklawn Catering. Clap it up. Our last stack. I'm sweating up there a little bit. All right. I see this one in the crowd. Shauna Biddle. Miss Biddle is a parent who is very supportive of her son and makes a point to attend and get involved in school activities as they relate to her son. Miss Shauna Biddle. I saw this one in the crowd as well. Miss Raina Gormley. Miss Gormley. Miss Gormley is always willing to help colleagues with their duty. She always has a great, wonderful, cheery smile along with the same personality. Miss Gormley's science classroom is fun for life each and every day. She is a pleasure to work with. Miss Raina Gormley. All right, Roz Davis, Rosalind Davis. Is Roz here? She works here at the high school. Miss Davis wears many different hats here at the high school. She's always very knowledgeable about the workings of Hope High School, being that she has worked here for 25 years. She is a true asset to the Hope High School campus. Rosalind Davis. And lastly, Becky Williams. Is Becky Williams here? Miss Williams, there you go. Miss Williams is the manager of Ivan Smith. She always supports sales and events at Hope Public Schools. She has 2 children who graduated from Hope. Miss Becky Williams. Just a note about this. I know it takes quite a while to get through, but here's the purpose. After you leave today and you go out in the community, you go to church, you go to sporting events, you do whatever you do, just know the great things are happening right here because of the people who are invested in this school district. So go out of these doors and tell that good story about the kids who are working hard and busting their butt every day, the parents who are giving above and beyond, the businesses who are donating their time and energy. Guys, it takes all of us to do this, but it takes all of us to tell the right story. So when you leave here, tell that story about who we are as Hope Public Schools. We got 3 items on the agenda. The mayor is in the house today, so he'll be presenting here in a moment. So stick around. It should be a short meeting. Give us one moment of transition. I'm so glad you're here. This is School Bus Safety Week. Mr. Maurice Henry oversees our transportation department and maintenance department for bus mechanics and supervisory things with the bus as well. We have a special guest. Mayor Still is in the crowd, so if the mayor would please come up. He has a proclamation we would like to read on behalf of School Bus Safety. Mayor?
I would, I just sit down here.
That sounds great to me.
Thank the board. Thank you all for having us. I'm Don Steele. I represent the city board as mayor. I'd just like to say a few words about the bus drivers and the people in the bus department. They do a great job of transporting our kids. They're sometimes the first face children see in the morning and the last ones they see in the afternoon. And they make a really good impression. I talked to a parent today and she was talking about how she enjoyed the bus driver. He did a really good job, so we appreciate everybody. Just like you said, Dr. Crosby, it takes so many pieces to make this puzzle work. And every piece is important, no matter what you do on campus. At the City of Hope, we appreciate everything the school does out here and everything you do. I'd like to read a proclamation about whereas approximately 1,050 students are transported on school buses within Hope High every day, whereas over 2,500 passenger trips are provided annually. 23 buses are operated daily. School buses within Hope travel about 285 square miles a day. They transport employees to trainings and annual events. 25 bus drivers, special ed bus attendants, mechanics, office, management employees are dedicated to provide safe transportation for our children and our community. Bus drivers safely operate their buses at times under very difficult conditions. I'm going to pause up there. I think they do have some difficult conditions sometimes, but they do their job. Hope Public Schools' first priority is in the transportation department is safety for our students. For that, I, Don Steele, make October 17th through the 21st School Bus Safety Week. Thank you for all you do, especially all of y'all guys.
This is a little off script. Mayor Steele, thank you for that. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Morris Henry, who's Director of Transportation and Maintenance. This is on the spot. It's your pastor, so I know you can handle it. Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the crowd? Because we do a great job of transporting students, and I'm very proud of the effort that you do.
I'm just grateful to be part of a group of people who take kids' lives in their hand daily and recognize them as their own. Grateful for the community who recognize the yellow buses daily and recognize they kind of purchase cargo that we ever can invest in our students.
Board members, do you have any words or comments at this time before we move to the other items?
So we appreciate our bus drivers, all that they do. We appreciate the drivers in town who do actually stop when the little stop sign comes out from the bus. And if anybody would be interested in driving a bus, we are always looking. Please contact Morris Henry. He will tell you how much fun it is. All right, thank you so much. Moving on, we have in new business the certified salary schedule for master's degree changes.
So this item went for PPC this past month. This is a simple change. We actually added some additional amounts to the rest of the salary schedule. So you'll see this is to add $60 to the master's degree and above. So each step above master's degree. And the reason for this is really, really simple. So they changed the amount, that is the minimum amount for bachelor's degree. They also changed the minimum amount for master's degree. So you see the many steps we have there. We were $60 off on the master's degree plus. And so what we decided to do is just go to that recommended amount and then add that same amount to the other steps as well. So that's a $60 increase for master's degree going forward all the way through doctorate. That'll be about a $7,000, $7,500 impact to our budget, something that we can definitely afford. But this is the state requirement that we must meet. We were below that before this time. And just if anybody's watching out there, teachers, if you do have a master's degree, you will be back paid and compensated for that $60, I assure you. So this is to put us in compliance for the new state minimum for master's degree. We were above that for just the bachelor's degree already. This puts us in compliance and actually above, or the areas above master's degree. This has already went to PPC. They voted on it. After, if you guys approve this, then it will go to a certified vote. And then immediately after the vote, it will become instated for our policies for this year.
Do we have any questions for Dr. Crossley? If none, we will entertain a motion regarding the master's degree changes.
Without objection, I make a motion that we accept the changes to the certified salary schedule with master's degrees.
Barbara, my second.
Okay, you have a motion by Mr. Howard, second by Mr. Bitten, second by Ms. Mons. All of those in favor, let me know by show of hands. Motion carries unanimously. The next item we have is the dissertation data request.
Yeah, so we have many staff members in our system who are trying to further themselves in their education. One such person is Ms. Carla Narleski, the district school improvement specialist. We talked about her responsibilities earlier in the annual report to the public. She is going to present to you on behalf of her project for approval. If granted, she will begin, I believe, immediately on the data collection so that she can finish her dissertation and become Dr. Narleski in the next little bit. So without further ado, Ms. Narleski, for a presentation to the board.
Thank you very much for allowing me this time this evening. I'm working on a dissertation through Arkansas State University. Graduation date set for December 2023. But first of all, I have to have board approval to gather data in our district. So my dissertation is on family engagement, the barriers, perceptions, and responsibilities. It's focused with K-4 families, and I will be requesting the use of the data at Clinton Primary School. I have already spoken with Ms. Stewart about this, and she has given me verbal consent to actually use the data if the board approves it. So in the packet that I gave you in the presentation, I have 3 research questions. I'll be looking at the data through the lens of demographics and looking at perceived barriers, the perceived family involvement, and the responsibilities that parents believe they have towards their child's education. The instrument I'm using is the Family School Relationship Survey from Panorama Education. I've received permission from them to use this survey in 4 parts of the survey: the family engagement, barriers to engagement, and roles, responsibilities, along with demographic questions. Then I'll have three response questions that if parents want to answer these, they can. And when I say parents, I mean family. So it could be a grandparent, it could be an aunt, an uncle, anyone who has a relationship with that child and knows the child's educational work. So I'm asking how we can help them be successful in school. What do they need from us? Then I'm asking, in what ways do we communicate with you? What's the best way? Some people like text message. Some people want a face-to-face meeting. How can we best communicate with you? And then, what is the biggest obstacle you face in coming to school? What's your biggest barrier that keeps you from being engaged with families? So everyone can participate in the survey, and I will let you know that it is voluntary. So if they fill out the survey and then 2 days later they say, I don't want you to use my data, they'll have a way to email me and say, I can't use my data. I will pull their data. I'm not collecting names or email addresses from them on the survey, so you'll have to give me quite a few notions so I know whose data to pull, but if you're ready to work through that, everybody will have their own site to visit. It's one link, and then it'll go straight into a Google form but not collect their personal information. They can skip any question that they do not want to answer. So the confidentiality part comes from Google Forms, and I'm going to ask the board to loan me a device that will be put in the Parent Center at Clinton Primary School for students, for parents to be able to answer these questions on the computer, or they can do it on their phone. Or if they don't like computers, we'll have paper copies in the Parent Center for you. We'll also have the Spanish version. I've hired someone to translate the survey, so we will also have it in Spanish for our parents. The paper copies will be put in a lockbox, which I am providing in the Parent Center, so no one will have access to the data except myself and then Mr. Jeff Madlock, should we have a computer glitch. So the timeline for the work, the first thing we'll do is I'll send a letter home with the students in their backpacks. I will print it at my own expense and then send it home with the students. And then I'll ask that the survey link be placed on the school website and the district website. Then 1 week after our notification, if you approve it, I'll use the robocall system and send that out to all K-4 families to remind them about the survey, 2 days prior to the close, we'll do another robocall, and 4 weeks later, the survey's ended. I'm hoping to do this survey right around parent-teacher conference time this spring. All the data that I receive after my dissertation, I will then turn over to the district and to Ms. Stewart in order for her to build a reciprocal family engagement plan. So you can see below the data that I'm looking for. I have access to this data already as a employee of the district, but I do not use this data. So I'm asking for access in these school emails. I'm also asking for the use of the parent center, a school device for survey purposes, the placement of the survey on the school and district website, the ability to send home flyers to the K-4 families, and then the use of the district's robocall system. Any questions?
Is there a number of responses that you need, Carla, for your dissertation to meet its requirements? Is there a number there?
100.
Okay.
That's the minimum I'm asking for. Anything over 100, we will still use.
Thank you.
Dr. Crosby had asked earlier if this would conflict with any of my duties as I work. If for some reason a parent needs me to read a survey to them, I will take personal time in order to do that, should that be necessary. The translation that is being completed will not be done during school hours either.
This information will be helpful to the district as well, for education parents and when it comes out to their involvement.
Yes, ma'am, I believe so.
And I'll focus on that and say I'm very interested in the research results of this study.
I would like to make a motion that we agree to allow Ms. Carla to use whatever we need, the things that she just said.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Johnson, a second by Mr. Hamilton. All of those in favor, let me know by show of hands. All right. Motion approved unanimously. We wish you good luck on the finishing of your dissertation.
Thank you very much.
All right, moving on. We have personnel.
So we're operating in record time, at least under my administration. I'm feeling good about the time, Ms. Moss. I'm feeling good about the time. We do have a few items in the personnel packet. It's obviously the pleasure of the board if they would like to go to executive session. Just as the 30,000-foot view here, we have 2 resignations. We have 4 additional hires, one that's currently in district taking on some additional responsibility. You'll see the very last person in the printed out version that I handed to you was added. They meet the bar for certification for that paraprofessional position. And we do have a need for that particular area. So we can definitely discuss it in executive if you would like, if you want to take a motion for that, or move forward with a vote. Either way, that's your pleasure.
Move to go into executive session.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Whittington, a second by Ms. Moss, to go into executive session to discuss personnel. All those in favor, let me know by show of hands. Motion carries. We will now adjourn into executive session to discuss personnel. We will come back into open session when we are done with that session. Thank you so much. Okay, we are back in open session. We have been in executive session discussing personnel. We will entertain a motion regarding the personnel packet at this time.
I move that we accept the personnel packet as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Dickinson, and a second by Mr. Courtney. All of those in favor, let me know by show of hands. Motion carries unanimously. There's nothing further before the board. We stand adjourned.